Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy. Without any further interruptions, enjoy the What If. Chapter 37. Finals Hinata vs Neji Konoha Stadium. The next match was about to commence, a match that had generated quite a hubbub, at least in a certain clan. The clan of the perverts, the Hyuga. Hiyashi had it up to here with this match. Ever since Neji and Hinata passed the preliminaries, to his surprise with Hinata when he was told she fought Akumo Genin to do it, the elders had been more obnoxious than television censors. You must make sure the branch upstart doesn't defeat a main branch, Hinata-sama must use the caged bird seal on the upstart, and all the rest of their crap. Adding to the confusion, was Neji of all things. Neji no longer appeared to loathe his cousin, judging from the fact he removed her picture from his dartboard. He also was spending, oddly enough, more training the guy. That just led to worries about his sanity. The last boy to do that ended up wearing a green spandex suit and got the evil haircut. His brother's memory be damned, if he came back screaming about the flames of youth, he was getting the seal. Something must have happened in the exams to impact his nephew so soundly. And now, this was the time to figure it out, when his daughter and nephew fought it out. Sadly enough, genetically speaking they were siblings, being he and Hisashi were twin brothers. And next to him was his other daughter, and probably more likely to run the clan, Hanabi, who took more after him than Hinata, who more or less looked like her mother, his deceased wife. Not that he was planning on disinheriting her, it was just that she was most likely to go off with Naruto Namikaze. Hiyashi wondered how he missed that, and thus vacate the clan. That was going to be a problem, internally as well as externally. Well, hopefully this match would be enough to clear his head. The two Hyuga stared one another down. Neji was the first to speak. I never thought I'd end up fight you here, Hinata-sama. She seemed to be nervous. True, Neji-Nisan, and I was surprised no one mentioned. That's because I didn't. After all, better to see some of the old idiots die off from shock, no. Don't disappoint me, not in front of Naru-kun, she eeped. Was he spying on her again? Fu and Haku sighed as Naruto looked confused. Wait, she likes me. Begin, Hinata focused, as the multicolored glow formed around her. Hiyashi gasped, while Neji just activated his Byukugen. No, it can't, Hanabi-chan, I'm not hallucinating, am I? She blinked. If you mean the colors around Hinata-on-san, then no, it's there. Aurora release, Boreal light show. 14 beams of multicolored light flew from Hinata's arms, flying straight towards Neji, who entered a stance. Wait, don't tell me that's. Both Hinata and her father blinked. 8 trigrams, 2 palms, 2 attacks were blocked by the attack. 4 palms, more were blocked, 8 palms, they were now all negated. 16 palms, the attack flew towards Hinata, who clenched her fists, before bracing herself. 8 trigrams, 32 palms, the 2 trigrams clashed, the attacks colliding in a fury of moves. As the end cleared, neither had managed a successful hit. Aurora release, the 8 trigrams, no it's not possible. 2-san, what's not possible? He shook his head. Aurora release is a rare trait amongst the Hyuga, immensely rare. It was that glow she had earlier, and the 8 trigrams is a art the elders limited to the main house. And half of them can't even use it, or the 32 palms for that matter. Somehow, it appears I underestimated them both. The two Hyuga continued to stare one another down, or at least Neji did, seeing as Hinata didn't really have the hate in her too. Your skills have improved it seems, I might just work up a sweat. He flew at her as Hinata activated her own Byukugen. Wind release, 8 trigrams empty palm. With a palm thrust, a burst of wind flew at Neji, who dodged it as it slammed into a tree. Hiyashi blinked. A release, used to enhance her own. Now, do I thank her for innovating the technique, or be annoyed for the elder rants I'll have to hear? Neji surged forward once again. Not bad, but nothing quite like the original. 8 trigrams, empty palm. Another surge of wind flew forward. Wind release, 8 trigrams empty palm. The 2 attacks collided, with equal power. Hinata blinked in surprise. No way, even after that, Neji-Nisan's power is still unreal. He smirked. I'd give you credit, Hinata-sama, for the improvement in your talents, but that still won't save you." He flew forward for a gentle fist attack. She blinked, before focusing. Lightning release. Gentle fist. Hinata struck his gentle fist as the impact came, sending a shock wave into Neji, before using wind release, empty palm to send him flying into a wall. Yash, why does Hinata-san get to be the one to show a failure, can beat a genius? It is infuriating to an extreme. Neji forced himself back forward, shaking rubble off him. Not bad, Hinata-sama, these innovations you've shown to the gentle fist are indeed impressive. But I can't help think that the original is best. 8 trigrams, 64 palms. Neji surged forward. Wind release. 8 trigrams empty palm. The wind attack was sent forward, before Neji dodged with speed normally seen by Lee. Yash, that's faster than before, Naruto said concerned. He must have gotten training from Ultra Brows. Huh, Hinata gasped as he got behind her guard. 2 palms. He struck Hinata. 4 palms. 8 palms. Hinata-san. Naruto-kun. She focused, as Neji went in. 16 palms. He ended up striking a log as Hinata substituted out of the way. Deactivating her Byukugan, Aurora Release reappeared around her. Aurora Release. Aurora Clone Jutsu. Around her, the Aurora split into 3 halves, each forming into Hinata lookalikes. I won't lose here. Neji-Nisan, Dadbyo, Naruto blinked. Did she just rip me off? Haku laughed. Oh come on Naruto-kun, everyone knows that copying is the sincerest form of flattery, Sharingan excluded. Humph, wait, why is it that girls just seem to all like me somehow? Dobi, don't kid yourself. Actually, my insects do conquer. When around Naruto-kun several females give off increased amounts of pheromones conspicuous with feelings of love, with a hint of lust. Naruto blinked. It's because you're a good person, and not a jerk, Fu soothed, though it gets annoying for the girls already trying to get you. Why does the Dobi get the girls? I deserve the girls, I'm a Uchiha, just wait Dobi, I'll kill you once you're alone. Back below, the Hinatas had surrounded Neji. 8 trigrams. 32 palms. All the Hinatas surged forward, all prepared to strike at Neji. Hiashi blinked. What strategy? I really need to pick up a clone jutsu, damn laws, Neji smirked, before rotating into a massive tornado of chakra. The Hinatas were all blown away, the 3 clones dissolving into chakra again. What the? Naruto blinked. Hiashi was shocked. The rotation. Neji grinned, now in a crater from the attack. Hinata blinked. That's how you beat Kiba-san. The mud never saw it coming. I really should applaud him for that smokescreen, it really did help. The dog boy growled from the stands, but sadly, I don't have time for gloating. He surged forward once again, preparing for a gentle fist attack. Running low on chakra, need to be careful, Hinata thought to herself, before avoiding the gentle fist attack followed by a leg sweep, knocking Neji to the ground and scraping his hand, allowing for a thin trickle of blood. It's over Neji-Nisan, lightning release, gentle fist. She prepared for the final blow, as smoke filled the spot where Neji had been previously. Summoning jutsu, Kaitenkam. The release attack instead had stuck a tortoise around the size of Gamaiken, but with a purple color and no Konoha Hyade around him. The turtle didn't even feel it. What the? Hinata gasped. Might Guy gave his good guy look. Excellent Neji, show them all your youthful training to its full effect. Team up with Gamekame-san's youthful cousin and seize victory. Apparently he had lent his contract to the Hyuga. Neji smirked on top of the turtle. But, the laws. Subsection B. Paragraph 7 clearly states in the Hyuga code that, one cannot use any jutsu not from the clan, with the exception of jutsu required to pass genin exams and jutsu for summoning objects. This was implied for storage scrolls, however this can also be taken as allowing summons, which no other phrase in the laws says against. Now then, Hinata-sama, it's time I finish this. With the improved rotation, Hinata and Hiyashi's eyes were wide now. Improved. Yes, now Kaitengame. The tortoise nodded his hand, before retracting his limbs, before rotating at a rapid speed. Rotation. The rotation of Hyuga fame was now unleashed. In a new form it appeared. The rotation then began to move forward, shocking Hiashi. He turned it into an attack. Hinata blinked in shock, before forcing herself to calm. I won't lose here. Not in front of Naruto-kun. The Aurora reappeared around her. Aurora release. Aurora clone jutsu. A clone appeared next to Hinata, who was now extremely tired. This has to work, now. Both of them began to rapidly move their arms, as chakra needles and threads began to forming into. What the? Hiashi blinked in shock. 8 trigrams, 64 palms guard. A giant net of chakra formed as a wall in front of Hinata and her clone, as the rotation flew towards them. Tayson rose an eyebrow. And they call her a failure. Neither of them deserve what they have, loathing nor enslavement. Remind me to remove Neji's seal if I have a chance. The two attacks collided in a massive explosion of chakra and smoke. Neji. Neji-kun. Hinata-chan. Hinata-san. Hayate blinked, as the smoke cleared. There in the middle stood 2 equally exhausted forms. Both Hinata and Neji were panting. What power? You even forced Kaitengame to return to his world. And you matched all my moves, Hinata panted. Neji-nisan. Hinata-sama. They both collapsed to the ground. Hayate gave it a minute. Double knockout. No winner. The judges were talking to themselves. 2 more good chunin, and that Neji boy, from what I heard about the Hyuga, a branch member like him having those techniques, he should be a Tobekstu like Kuretsuchi and Naruto. Naruto's teammates sighed. What will it take for a girl to win without a give up? Fu complained, to Temari's ire. Simple. That will never happen. Girls are naturally path. San surrounded Sasuke from an annoyed Gara. Sasuke-tem. Do not insult females, or they will prove their existence against you the old-fashioned way. Let's not forget, we're going to fight one another in the next round. Don't give me a reason to truly cause you pain, Sasuke scoffed. Well then ring eyes, hope you're ready to taste the room like that pathetic panda. Take that most youthful taunt back. Jerk. Shino commented. Gara rose an eyebrow. Prepare Sasuke-tem. Unlike against Samui-san, I will not hold back against you. Tayson-sensei instructed me, to give you a fight to remember. Team 11 blinked in shock, as you die. A Ridge Tex Wind Release. 8 trigrams empty palm. Kekkei Genkei. The description. The empty palm with wind chakra added to it. Lightning Release. Gentle Fist Kekkei Genkei. See description. Lightning Charged Gentle Fist Attack. Aurora Release. Aurora Clone Jutsu Chapter 38. Finals Haku vs Shino. Match 6. Konoha Stadium. The 6th match of the finals was about to begin, with Haku Momoichi staring down the always mute form of Shino Aburame. I will win this fight. The Aburame never underestimate their foes, he said in a monotone. Haku rose an eyebrow. Okay. Weirdo. Begin. Bugs began pouring out from Shino's jacket, creating a gigantic swarm, which formed an insect tsunami that flew towards Haku. She rapidly did hand signs. Ice Release. Protective Ice Dome. A dome of ice formed around Haku, blocking the avalanche of bugs. The shinobi were stunned. Ice Release. That girl has Ice Release. First the D. Naruto ends up being the Yondiami's son, with a bunch of Kekkei Genkei, now a girl with one of them as her own. Great. Another ice-cold girl who won't date me. Shino didn't flinch, as the bugs began freezing from the ice before being able to devour the chakra. Haku shook her head. This dome was all she'd need to stop them, as long as she had the chakra to do it. Ice Release. Ice Spikes. From the ice wall, spikes of ice rose up and smashed into Shino, who chose then to dissolve into bugs. She blinked. Bug Clone. More bugs began attacking the ice, their small bodies slowly, but surely raising the temperature with their bodies. This wouldn't end well. It took them longer to freeze now, leaving more time to eat at her protection. This will be a problem. I put more work into increasing my chakra reserves during the month then gaining new jutsu. This could be trouble to deal with. She did a quick hand sign, as 2 water clones of her formed outside the ice dome. Water Clone Jutsu. Ice Release. Demonic Ice Mirrors. Around Shino, giant floating ice mirrors began to form, as the water clones entered the mirrors, and began raining ice and bond down at Shino and his bugs. Bug after bug was pierced, as Shino managed to himself avoid damage. Not bad strategies, on either of their parts. Yes, most excellent. This year will be a fine one for the Leaf and Suna, That is assured, as to Kumo and Iwa as well. The battle continued, as Shino drew a kunai with an exploding tag and tossed it at the mirrors. The tag exploded, slightly damaging the mirror, but to a minor extent. This jutsu can take the blunt of one of Ducky's fireball techniques, and exploding tags not much better. Shino was annoyed inside. This is going to be difficult. Her jutsu has me cornered, and my insects are being killed off too quickly. I may not be able to fight properly in the next rounds as a result. She is a fine opponent. Her dome has blocked my insects from her, and yet she can still attack regardless with these mirrors. But the chakra, obviously Naruto-san and Fu-san have been busy training her for chakra build-up. However, if I can hold out I should suffice. Ice release. Ice manacles. Shino looked down as his foot became trapped by ice restraint, before he broke into bugs, a bug clone as well. The real Shino had escaped the now dissolving ice mirrors, with two annoyed water clones glaring at him. Water release. Water ball. Wind release. Frosty wind. The two attacks flew at Shino, who used his bugs, ushering out of his jacket, like a shield to block the attacks as some ground bugs got at the clones, forcing them to dissolve. He was now right on top of the dome, with two exploding tag-ridden kunai in hand. Oh now you don't. Ice release. Ice spikes. Ice spikes flew from the dome, straight at Shino. Jumping off to avoid getting pierced, before he tossed the kunai at the ice dome, where they gave off dud noises. Fake explosion tags. She blinked, before a real explosion came from behind. Turning around, she found her back wall with a small portion of its bottom, as an army of bugs surging towards her. The little buggers must have planted explosion tags on the dome while she was distracted, not enough to destroy it, but to make a bug-sized entrance. Not bad, but she didn't really want to deal with the creepy crawler army. Haku-chan. Naruto yelled in fright. She focused her chakra into a defensive attack. Wind release. Great breakthrough. From her mouth, a great burst of wind surged forward, blasting away the bugs in a powerful whirlwind, as she herself escaped from the ruined ice dome and glared down at Shino. You cannot defeat me, Haku-san. Surrender, and I will not have to feed your chakra to my friends, he said in the Aburame monotone. Haku glared right back. Don't think you can psyche me out. Water release. Water ball. It began a contest of speed versus strategy. Haku avoiding the bugs with superior speed, while Shino was trying to box her in with them. This battle is taking too long. Tell Bugsy and the ice bitch to hurry up, Sasuke huffed. The remaining genin glared at him. You are lucky that the rules keep me from ending your existence before our match, Sasuke Tem. Shut it Tem. Yosh, you are most unyouthful. Okay, so far we have 1 failure, 7 promising chunin, and 3 who are probably Tobetsu material. Can we promote them directly to Tobetsu? We can. We did so with Itachi the last time. Yes, I remember him. Shame really what happened with him, don't you agree? Agreed. Shino was at the end of his rope, and Haku wasn't far behind. Both of them were panting now, and now it was about the end, as the bugs now had Haku cornered and air restrained. So, this is it. Surrender now, and you won't suffer extreme chakra exhaustion, Shino said in his monotone. However, Haku had a Naruto-like grin on her face at this time. I don't think so. You see, the best way to win is to always be able to improvise. Now then. She did the hand signs normally used for ice release, ball implosion, but slightly different. Shino's eyes widened, as did the bugs if you could see their eyes. What are you doing? The queen is starting to freeze. Haku rose an eyebrow, again like Naruto. Yes, if you don't surrender now, your queen will be killed. Your ability to replace this fight's losses will be lost, and the determining on a new queen will wreck your battle abilities for an unknown length of time. So, say the words. Shino glared at her. I yield. The bugs retreated as the pressure relented around the queen. Haku sighed. Zabuza and Naruto together gave her the win, Zabuza's sadism and Naruto's innovation. Winner, Momoichi Haku. The judges were talking to themselves once again. Yeah, go Haku-chan. Damn ice bitch. So, I'm not the lone girl around here. Tamari muttered to herself. Very soon, Uchiha will die, and then I move forward in life. Well, One more match, and then Gara-kun gets to have one last good, bloody kill. Uchiha Sasuke, and hopefully Uchiha as well, will be destroyed, Hubby Tem will be screwed a body, and then Gara-kun can work for the vacant cage job. No. I believe he can. He has the potential. What about you, Fluffy? Tayson mused. You say something. Fluffy was eating a hot dog coated in ketchup. And what goes on cinnamon buns? Oh, never mind. Yes, both are chunin ready, it seems. Momoichi managed to pull off a negotiation that put all the cards in her hand, sort of speak, and Aburame retreated when he realized he could be permanently immobilized. Better to fail a non-vital mission and be able to complete a dozen others, than to complete a non-vital and be forced to retire due to injuries. Yes, now only one more match is left. It is time for the final quarter-final match. Rock Lee, Takiboshi Fu, the two taijutsu users were now posed for battle. Chapter 39. Finals Lee vs Fu Chunin exams. Begin. The final quarter-final match between two great taijutsu users began, as Lee flew towards Fu with his impressive speed. Leaf Hurricane. He spun in the air, his orange legwarmer-clad leg flying towards Fu, before his leg was intercepted, with one hand. His eyes widened, as did Guy's. How? Lee's strength is at the pinnacle of youth. Yet she. Fu smirked, and laughed. Naruto-kun and Haku-san weren't the only ones with aces. Here's mine. She swung Lee by his leg, straight across the arena straight into the wall, creating a Lee-shaped hole straight through it. The audience was shocked. That strength. What is she, Tsunade too? Lee, however, wasn't fazed, as he re-emerged from the hole, seemingly unfazed. That was most impressive, Fu-san. Your strength is greatly augmented by your own flames of youth. This will be a most entertaining match-up, of that I am sure. He surged forward once again at shocking speed. Fu did a few rapid hand signs. Earth release. Earth-style wall. A wall of earth rose up, forcing Lee to change his attack location, spinning around the wall before attacking once again. Dynamic action. Lee began swinging several punches at Fu, as a tornado of water formed around her. Water release. Water twister. The water attack, much like the Hyuga rotation, blocked the fist attack by Lee and forced him back. The huge eyebrows rose. A defensive technique, much like that of Neji in his rotation. Thank you, Fu-san, you will help me see if my new strategy is effective. Prepare, my second youthful taijutsu rival. He flew at Fu once again, before rapidly punching and kicking, while Fu blocked the attacks each time, before jumping back. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Two more Fus appeared next to her, before they began rapidly prodding the real Fu's hand, as a swirling sphere appeared there. Wait, that's the same jutsu Naruto-san used against Kuretsuchi-san, Lee said in surprise. Rasgengan. The sphere formed fully as she surged towards Lee, the palm sphere bustling with energy. Lee's huge eyes widened. Again, what a youthful battle tactic, but can it match against this Leaf Hurricane, with a twist? Lee spun his foot towards the Rasengan, before dropping to the ground on his hands and impacting the foot behind her attack straight into her stomach. Fu's eyes widened with surprise, before she exploded into smoke. Shadow Clone. Fu and her remaining clone flew into him with the Rasengan, sending him flying into the sky. Take that. Earth release. Rising stone spears. Stone spears rose up from the earth, all aimed at Lee. However, he was prepared for it. I will not be turned into shish kebab meat today. Dynamic dodging. With overdramatic moves, Lee avoided all the spears, causing the judges to sweat drop. Did that guy reproduce? One shivered. No, but they let him teach. That was cruel. Poor boy never had a chance. Though, he does have Chunin level taijutsu, so let's not write him off yet. He landed on top of one of the last spears, before he turned to his sensei, who gave him the good guy look. Do it, Lee, show them your youth. Lee nodded. Yes, I agree. He began to remove his horrid leg warmers, revealing a set of training weights on his legs. Naruto laughed. Training weight. Does he really think that 1 or 2 less pounds will protect him from Fu-chan? He dropped the weights, sighing in relief, as they hit the ground with a loud bam, sending up a huge plume of dust, and leaving 2, really large, really deep craters. What the hell? That must have been like 40 pounds. And he moved that fast with those things on. Temari shook. What sort of training did this guy get? Gai-kun. You may be more inhumane than Danzo-san sometimes, the Hokage muttered. Said elder shook his head, wondering if Gai should have trained his root agents. From the top of the stone spear, Lee vanished, before the shadow clone exploded into smoke. An alarmed Fu turned around to try and smash the boy, but he escaped again, her fist striking into the ground and sending a ripple of destruction from the fist impact, before she felt a harsh kick into her stomach, sending her flying into the air. Sasuke was fuming. How dare the even Dobi, have all that speed and strength? That should be a Uchiha's power, not some idiot's whose fashion made his Dobi of a former teammate look like a stylist. That power was for his goals, the slaughter of Itachi, his revenge, and the death of Tayson and the Dobi. But it wasn't like he had long to wait, it was already 80% done. Water release. Water tornado. The water shield formed around Fu once again, stopping a few of Lee's attacks. Lee grinned. So, you still plan on helping me in perfecting my strategy, then? Well then, prepare for the Leaf Ultra Super Perfection Shield Breaking Taijutsu. He used the Leaf Shadow Dance to appear behind Fu. 100 years of painful recovery. With a rapid jab in the chakra around her mid-back. The shield broke. What the? Yash, for you see, I had seen your teammate, Naruto-san, use a move called the 1000 Years of Death in a fire release to fight against the most unyouthful Uchiha. Naruto chuckled while Sasuke glared at the green beast cub. So I figured out how to youthfulize it, to break shields without doing something so degrading, especially against a female. Now then, prepare yourself. He grabbed her arm, leaf pirouette. He rapidly spun Fu in the air, before sending her spinning in a twister straight into the wall with a bang, breaking the wall in the process. Fu-chan. Naruto yelled out in fear. Fu stumbled out of the rubble, clutching her arm. Ow. That was harsh, you know. I am most apologetic, but be glad I did not use my force to break your arm beyond repair. I have heard many things about your youthful ability to heal, like Naruto-san, so I know I can use much more force and not permanently incapacitate you, my eternal taijutsu rival, number 2. He gave a good guy look. Lee, you have already gained much power in your youth. You have more youthful rivals than I have. Gai-sensei. Lee. The Sun Genjutsu appeared, freaking out the entire stadium, and sending more than one daimyo into cardiac arrest. The judges shivered. Yep, it's his spawn. That Genjutsu is back, so. That Genjutsu alone is terrifying enough. It once defeated an entire army, as done by the ancestors of Might Guy in the days before villages. He passes. The girl, however, we wait and see. Fu forced herself back up once again, from the evil Genjutsu. I will not be the only one to lose here today. I won't. A red aura of chakra briefly surrounded her, as her eyes went gold. This guy, he's tougher than he should have been. That Gai-sensei really must train him into the ground. Your eyes, they are golden with the bounty of youth. Lee smiled. But now, you must be defeated. He surged forward once again, as did Fu at nearly equal speed. The two flying taijutsu users crashed their fists into the others, sending both of them flying backwards. She's 1-2. Killer Bee blinked. That's 5. In one place. It's amazing we're all keeping face. You were almost tolerable for once, Yugito sighed as the two continued to collide with power fist after power fist. Lee then got another thumbs up from Gai-sensei, and nodded. Yash, it is time to unleash even more power. Out of nowhere, chakra began swirling around Lee, shocking Fu and the rest further. The other Jonin blinked, and the Hokage was shocked. No way. Gai-san would never. That green beast of a baka, the Hokage sighed. Gate of opening, open. Gate of healing, open. Gate of life, open. Lee now had blank, wild eyes and red skin, and moving even faster by some manner, began rapidly pounding her into the sky, before she was blasted straight into the air, through a cloud. Fu-chan. Lee shot up to finish it. Gai-sensei, I hope your endurance training has helped, if not I will repeat it in the desert of the land of wind while only consuming string cheese. Gate of pain, open. He flew into the cloud, preparing to finish Fu off now, when he blinked in shock. Fu was now covered in a red aura, now taking a rough shape of a beetle with one wing on her back, and a more feral look to her as it was. You look like Gaara-san in his fight with Samui-san, she said, more harshly than normal. Hell, never expected to have to use this so early. You're not the only one with a dangerous technique up her sleeve. Lee glared. I will finish this in a most youthful fashion. His bandages began to undo themselves, and surround Fu, though they started to burn for some reason. Quickly redrawing them, he had to try a more risky technique, as chakra began leaking from his body and surrounding Fu like a net. I will have to use this unfinished technique. I am sorry Guy-sensei. Chakra stemmed frontal lotus. Using chakra to bind Fu this time, they flew down towards the ground in a red and blue spinning vortex, before he felt burning chakra corrode around him. WHO says you were the only one to get an idea like that, Jinchuriki style, primary lotus. Both now bound taijutsusts flew towards the ground, before striking it with an explosion of dust. Fu-chan. Lee. Fluffy shook her head. Great a dust cloud. We can't see who won, hope it clears soon. Now, cliffhanger no jutsu. A ridge battle moves Leaf Ultra Super Perfection Shield Breaking Taijutsu, 100 years of painful recovery. Rank D. Description: Lee's less unyouthful version of the 1000 years of death, designed for destroying shields. Jinchuriki style: Primary Lotus-tailed beast art B. Description: Uses tailed beast chakra to perform the lotus. Chapter 40 Redacted. Chapter 41 The Finals of the Finals. The stadium in Konoha where everyone is holding their breath. As the smoke cleared, the group anxiously awaited the results of the match. Naruto, Haku and Guy were especially keen, while Sasuke was bored. Honestly. Why are we wasting our time with those idiots? I need a real opponent. You will have one Uchiha Tem. Your final one that is, Gara commented dryly. One should never look down up warriors who fight to their true abilities, and especially those who have something to prove. Tamari was confused at this. Something to prove. Gara nodded. Fu-san is much like myself, as is Naruto-san, I may comment. We all have overcome adversity, prejudice and irrational fears to make it to where we are today, with the aid of those who care for us, the few that do that is. Lee-san, he has limited abilities as a ninja, no nin nor general jutsu. Instead, all he has is his taijutsu, to a level that many chunin can't match. Both of them are more deserving of shinobi life, and life itself, than you, Duck Tem. The group chuckled. Duck Tem. Silence. Quack. Silence. Who is the dead doby who just said that? They didn't get a chance to, as the smoke from below began to clear. The result of the battle was revealed, with a panting Fu standing over a defeated Lee. No Nanabi chakra remained around her, thankfully. Winner, Takiboshi. Fu, Lee, know your fires of youth have been struck with the dirt of defeat. What sheer power. That girl managed to overcome a user of the gates. I wish we could see how she did it. So, let's say both of them should become chunin, even the guy spawn. So, all who remain genin as of now is the Uchiha. Wonder if he can make up for it in his next fight. We can only dread it. Fu struggled back up to the stands, as medics and a worried Guy took Lee away. As she made it up the stairs, she felt aid from Naruto and Haku. That was awesome, Fu-chan. You're make chunin for sure, Naruto smiled. Fu grinned, as the next match was announced. Time for the first match of the semifinals. Uchiha Sasuke, Subaku no Gara. Gara-san shushing down to the battlefield, followed by a regular flickering Sasuke. Prepare to die. Gara said evenly. Yeah right, you wasted a lot of chakra on that blonde Kumo bimbo, Killer Bee and Yugito growled, while I got all that chakra back from the idiot weapons girl, the females in the stadium growled. I have much more chakra than you do, Ducky. Begin. Hayate shushined out of the soon-to-be bloodbath. Sasuke breathed in deeply. Fire release. Fire snakes. Out of his mouth flew a duo of snakes made up of fire, slithering at Gara with amazing speed. He didn't blink. As normal, as a sand shield rose up around him to block the snakes from burning him, as they began to coil around him. The Uchiha is now using science to his side, heating the sand to change it to a different form and make it useless to Gara. Tayson commented, however, that won't work. Wind release. Tempest burst. A burst of wind flew from Gara, blasting the snakes off his sand through sheer force, as said sand fell to the ground. He then breathed in deeply as well. Wind release. Drilling air bullet. Fire release. Great fireball technique. The two attacks flew from each combatant's mouth, before striking in the dead center of the battlefield with a bang. Then through the smoke cloud that resulted, Sasuke flew forward, his fists covered in stone. Earth release. Rock fist. He smashed into the sand. That wasn't there as Gara just poofed. Shadow clone. How dare you mock me with that justu? I will have it. He failed to notice Gara rising from the earth, via earth release, tunneling technique. You fool, you believe having the ability copy any jutsu of your choosing will make you the most powerful. Shinobi don't win by pure strength, but by their skills in using what they have. You, who copies every jutsu he sees, can't understand this. But I can. For like you I did study the jutsu training of others. But I made sure to know what these jutsus were, and how to use them. Wind release, 1000 years of speedy death. Gara formed the 1000 years hand signal, and with wind chakra coating his fingers, thrusted them forward. Sasuke's eyes went wide, as a burst of wind invaded his ass and sent him flying into the wall face first. Temari blinked, before laughing her head off, as did Naruto and his team. That was hilarious. I should have thought of that. Sasuke was fuming. How dare you? How dare you act like the Dobby you eyebrowless freak? I will destroy you, and all who dare stand in the way of my vengeance. Fang passing Fang. Sasuke, spinning rapidly, flew at Gara to the gathered Inuzuka's displeasure and fury. Gara didn't flinch as his sand blocked the attack via a wall, before a shape began to form out of the sand, a leash. Sand leash. The leash flew and grabbed Sasuke by his jacket collar. What the? Bad dog. With the leash, Sasuke was whipped into the ground harshly before he managed to roll out of its grip. Fire release. Phoenix Sage Inferno technique. The all-consuming fire attack flew towards Gara, as the sand wall formed once again. Sand shot barrage. Hundreds of balls of sand flew from his barrier, striking down each of the fire attacks one by one, as bits of sand fell to the ground all around the battlefield. Genjutsu. Hell viewing technique. Gara froze up, as Sasuke smirked. Now then. Time to finish you off, Chidori. The lightning attack formed in Sasuke's palm as he flew at the immobilized Gara, before said boy smirked as his sand reformed. What the? So, it looks like that training against Shukaku worked after all. Tayson reflected. Not only did Gara get a chance to pound the obese thing into the dirt, he also managed to gain control of it in a manner similar to Yugito. Just Yugito, not Killer Bee, Fluffy asked. He shrugged. Shukaku is a stubborn old fool. However, he has enough control to induce the genjutsu proofing process. A bulge formed in the sand wall, about where Sasuke was about to strike, as the sand shrunk away, revealing a Rasengan. What the hell? Naruto gasped. Fluffy chuckled. His third eye must have seen quite a few things. The two attacks collided. Rasengan. Both of them were blown away by the power of the attack, as Gara blew up in smoke. Damn it. This was boring. Time to end this. Sand coffin. The sand from the earlier sand shot rose up around Sasuke to kill him. As a blast of strange, spider-like webbing flew at Sasuke and yanked him out of the attack. The audience blinked in confusion, as Sasuke was pulled into the multiple arms of a tan teen with an Odo headband, accompanied by a fat orange-haired kid with a mohawk, a blue-headed one and I am pissed off as hell and don't want to save this bastard, looking to Yuya, all in standard Odo garb. They were standing on top of one of the building's roof. Odo ninja. The Hokage glared, noticing how the Cage's guards were now gone. The sound 4, the sound 3, as Yuya really didn't want to be doing this, grabbed Sasuke to escape dramatically, before said duckhead placed his hand over the spider guy's face. Hey, what the hell? Sharingan art. Complete absorption. The Odo ninja began to writhe in pain, as dark flames coated him. Kitamura, what the hell are you doing to him? Said Spider-Man collapsed to the ground in flames, before Sasuke spat a burst of sticky spider web at both the fat kid and the blue head, binding them in spider web. What the hell are you doing? Yuya gasped as he attacked the others the same as before. I wanted to send them to hell, she said in an annoyed tone. The cage twitched in annoyance. Sticky spider web, he spat another web, this time binding Yuya in webbing. What the hell are you doing, you bastard? She yelled. Before, in a poof of smoke, she was replaced with a Naruto shadow clone, as Yuya appeared disheveled in the combatants' room. Said clone then poofed away. Are you alright, Yuya-chan? Naruto asked, concerned. She huffed. Fine as hell. She shook her head, but what the hell was that all about? Sasuke was furious now. How dare you? And here I thought I'd be able to use my Juinjutsu on that bitch. Gara then warped in front of him via Sansushin. May I inquire why you have not continued our match? Sasuke was grinning evilly now. Sorry, raccoon demon. But I have more important things to be doing right now, like my revenge. Die. His eyes transformed. Amaterasu. A blast of black flames were ignited out of nowhere, striking the shingles and burning them as it approached Gara, who shushined away from the attack via sand and appeared behind him, as sand rose around him once again. Prepare to die. Sand coffin. The sand managed to surround Sasuke this time, and squeezed down. Before a giant purple burst of light formed. The gathered audience began to panic, as waves of unholy killer intent crossed the entire village, and from the black flames that hadn't died down yet. The remaining genin and Yuya had wide eyes as well, as the sand coffin was burst open, as a giant purple form rose up, a giant warrior with a horned helmet and evil, glowing yellow eyes. The figure completely flattened the building Gara was on, before he waved his arms, and a great inferno of black flames engulfed the forests around the town. Amaterasu. Human screams were ringing out across the land, as Temari's eyes widened. Our forces, and Odo's. That nutcase is burning them alive. Sasuke was grinning. Now, for my revenge to begin. Now, that I have full control of this younger, complete body, Tayson stood up and glared at him. Sasuke's been fully possessed. Great. Now Suna's forces are being burnt alive with Odo's, and Konoha is about to be barbecued. Great. Fluffy turned around rapidly towards the Hokage, where the cage had just restrained the Hokage. And of course, that too. A ridge moves wind release, 1000 years of speedy death. Rank, B. Description. The 1000 years of death is used to send wind chakra into the ass from afar, speeding a foe away. Sand leash tiled beast skill, D. Description. A leash is created out of sand to bind and smash a foe. Sharingan art. Complete absorption rank, S. Description. A kinjutsu of the Uchiha clan, with it all the special abilities of a person are absorbed into the person. Chapter 42. Zombies and cages. Konoha Stadium. To say, it was a complete disaster here. A great flame storm of Amaterasu flames were burning down the forests, rapidly approaching the city walls, and Orochimaru now had the Hokage hostage. That and about 100 Odo ninja appearing throughout the stadium. This sent the gathered leaf ninja into a frenzy trying to fight them off, unable to aid the Hokage. So, the snake has gone through with it, Tayson growled. Gara-kun, I hope he is able to pull out that jutsu, Fluffy chuckled. I'm sure he can. Wait, she froze up, as did Tayson. Oh no. Not that. In the seal of the Kyuubi, the giant fox was sniffing the air from inside her seal. She was smelling a scent she hadn't smelled in ages. The Shodai's. But something was off about it. It was sort of like the scent of ashes. Outside the seal via shadow clones, Naruto, carrying the injured Fu and Yuya, as he Rasengan through a barricaded door. Haku and Shikamaru were behind them. They had to get them out of harm's way before this battle heated up. As they ran, however, they found their path blocked by, oddly of all things, the Kabuto guy from before. But he didn't have his leaf Hiate. Instead, it was a sound one. The real Naruto growled. What the hell? Wait, you can't be. Kabuto smirked evilly. A spy for Orochimaru-sama. You know it, Jinchuriki. Now then, I'm afraid I've been given orders to capture you and retrieve Yuya-chan there. Call me that again, you four-eyed bastard, and I will fucking cut your balls off. She yelled. The glass-wearing ninja chuckled slightly. So, it appears I was right, you're not really loyal to us then. Too bad, you'll have to die then. He focused chakra into his hands, that began to glow blue. A chakra scalpel. This could be troublesome, Shikamaru commented. Shadow Poseidon technique. From Shikamaru's shadow, a extending shadow moved forward, flying towards Kabuto, who managed to avoid it as it sputtered out. He was still low on chakra. Damn it, Shikamaru grumbled. Haku did a few hand signs. Ice release. Ice box technique. 2 ice walls formed, trapping Kabuto in a box of ice with no way out. He then took to striking at them with his chakra scalpels, to really no effect. Erg. That should hold him for now. The ice box was shattered by an annoyed Kabuto with apparent ease. What the? Sorry, but I'm not done yet, so surrender and I won't have to kill you. Dynamic entry. Lee shouted, as the semi-recovered fighter flew at him with a powerful kick, before sending Kabuto smack down into the ground. Following him also eager for a fight were Neji and Shino. But how? You were hit with such powerful force. You should be in the hospital right now. Kabuto said shocked, as Lee smirked. Normally true, and while I am not at my full ability as of now, due to our most youthful battle, Fu-san. The powers of youth allow me to fight to my full extent. Lee smirked. Lee-san, Neji-san, Shino-san. The trio nodded. You better get those two out of here. Not only does the red head. I have a name you he she. Neji didn't have a way to respond to that, so Shino took care of it. While your companion there may have information about what is going on, Fu-san is recovering from that final attack, and is not ready to engage in the fight, and Shikamaru-san is out of chakra. We will handle the traitor while you get them out of here. The group nodded and retreated. In a battlefield of cages a tired Sandiame, with the monkey Emna next to him, were not having fun. Surrounding them was his traitorous student, the pale Orochimaru, and the zombified versions of his predecessors, the red-armored Hashirama Senju and the blue-armored Tobirama Senju. How can you still fight against me and your predecessors, with only a oversized monkey? And still be holding your own, you old man. But, it doesn't matter anyway. You shall die here anyway, Orochimaru grinned as he sent orders to his zombie slaves. Wood release. Great forest technique. A tree-like fist flew from Hashirama's arm. Water release. Water dragon bullet. From Tobirama, a water dragon was sent at the elderly Hokage, who avoided both attacks with Emna. Now, Adamantine staff. The monkey transformed into a giant staff, promptly used to slam down on Orochimaru, who promptly melted into mud. Mud clone. Hiruzen groaned, as Orochimaru appeared above him with the sword of Kusanagi in hand. You will die now, old man. The deadly sword swung a mighty arc, before it met against Ramen. Shadow striking Ramen, Tayson stood on the opposite end of the battlefield, with Fluffy alongside him. Orochimaru was pissed now. You dare make a mockery of my jutsu with pathetic noodles. Whoever you are, I will kill you and that companion of yours, and then dissect your remains. Tayson shook his head. Sorry Snake. I don't think so, not today. Lightning release. Conductive Ramen shockwave. A shockwave crossed the Ramen, before striking Orochimaru with a vengeance, electrocuting the, whatever he was at this point, and sending him stumbling back. Thank you. You're the people who gave Naruto-kun his powers, he questioned. They nodded. Yep. Now then you old geezer, you may be a powerful shinobi, but you can't handle all three of these guys, it seems. So, I'll take Blue Boy. That's Tobirama Senju, have some respect Fluffy-chan. Groan. Okay I'll take Toby there. Fluffy-chan. Why does she remind me of Kushina-chan? The Hokage wondered. You can take Hashi. And the old guy gets pale and ugly. Honestly, you just insulted 4 of the most powerful shinobi ever to appear in Konoha, in one sentence. You really need to work on respect. But I guess that works. Beast Wave Palm. The wind attack was thrusted towards Hashimaru, who dodged it as the trio flew at their respective opponents. Fluffy vs Tobirama. Fluffy shushined behind the Nidiame Hokage, as she drew from perhaps out of nowhere, a sealing scroll. The zombie Hokage jumped away as she unsealed something large. It was Zabuza's sword, for you see, Fluffy had a habit of collecting souvenirs from places she had been, such as the legendary sword. Lifting the great thing in one hand, she grinned. Bring it on, pretty boy. She swung the sword down harshly at the cage. Water release. Water encampment wall. A wall of water formed around the former cage, blocking the attack from Fluffy, who was forced back before she began several rapid hand signs. Wind release. Petal dust dance. A storm of sakura petals flew from Fluffy straight into the cage, who was blown into the air. Water release. Gunshot. A blast of water flew from the cage, straight towards Fluffy, who began to spin rapidly, as a rotating wall of chakra formed around her, blocking the attack. Rotation. Fluffy smirked, before doing more rapid hand signs. Fire release. Phoenix Sage Inferno technique. The high-powered fire release was sent straight at the cage. Water release. Water encampment wall. A wall of water formed, blocking the attack with ease, as the attack was revealed to contain shuriken and kunai, with exploding tags adorned to them all. Prepare yourself Senju. For the Fluffy's special Nova of Beauty, the tags exploded into a burst of fire, evaporating the water jutsu. Water release. Gunshot. Fluffy charged forward, slicing down the attack with the giant sword, before pounding into the earth, sending giant spikes of debris into the sky. All in all, it was very Tsunade-like. Water release. Water dragon bullet. Wind release. Dragon gust jutsu. Another collision of equally forceful jutsu occurred. Water release. Shockwave. Wind release. Gall force. The two jutsu collided with equal force, as Fluffy dashed forward with the giant sword. Hashimaru vs. Tayson. So Hashimaru dono, or can I just call you Hash? The cage didn't respond. Not that he could with the jutsu that turned him into the monster zombie thing he now was. I hear you do wood release. Well, here's one I created on my own. Call it, wood release, Senjutsu forest. Out of the rooftop, trees burst forth from the shingles, all of them aspens, that radiated green waves of chakra energy. This energy wafted into Tayson, as he entered Sage mode. Wood release. Great forest technique. A tree fist flew straight at Tayson, who did several hand signs. Sage art. Wind release stream. A burst of powerful air flew from Tayson's mouth, striking the wood release attack and shattering it. Hashimaru himself however managed to get a chance for a counterattack. Wood clone technique. Via wood release, Hashimaru created 3 clones of himself, each of them getting in a triangular formation around Tayson. Wood release. Maple binding branches. From one clone, branches of wood flew to restrain Tayson, who wasn't struggling. Wood release. Impaling Acadia. The other wood clone's arm morphed into a sharp lance of wood, which surged at Tayson, who was pierced with the powerful branch, before he smirked. Scorch release. Scorch clone implosion. Tayson, or rather his clone, promptly exploded, burning away the wood clones away as the regular Hashimaru escaped with only a rapidly healing leg injury. Wood release. Great forest technique. Ice release. Ice barrier. A barrier of ice blocked the wood release attack, as Tayson leapt into the air with glowing palms. Storm release. Scorch release. Beast wave palms. 2 wave palms flew into Hashimaru, who was sent crashing into a tree, losing both arms that were rapidly repairing themselves. Water release. Water dragon bullet. The water dragon was launched at Tayson, striking dead center as he was sent into the sky, before he grabbed hold of the water dragon. Storm release. Great twister. Tayson was engulfed in a twister, that rapidly sped back at Hashimaru. Storm release. Water spout. Hashimaru wasn't done yet. Wood release. Sequoia boxing fists. Hashimaru's fists morphed into wooden fists, which struck into the storm release with an explosion, that sent both Hashimaru and Tayson into the air. Tayson gave a roundhouse kick that Hashimaru managed to avoid before giving an uppercut to Tayson's chin, sending him spinning to the ground with a dust plume. Hashimaru then descended at his location. Wood release. Impaling Acadia. His arm now a spear once again, the deadly attack was ready to strike. Crystal release. Crystal encampment wall. A wall of purple gems rose up and blocked the wood release attack, that promptly began to crystallize the wood release attack. Hashimaru wasn't done yet, however. Leaf hurricane. The Hokage numero uno smashed into the crystal wall with Lee's move, shattering the crystal as his arm returned to normal. Tayson shook his head. So, he came up with that taijutsu move. Strange, I always pegged it one of Guy's line. No matter. He popped into the ground now created by the Senjutsu forest, before reappearing behind Hashimaru with a giant, crystal sledgehammer. Crystal release. Whack-a-mole. Tayson promptly slammed the hammer into Hashirama, sending him into the ground like a nail. Wood release secret technique. Navati of a world of trees. Hashirama began to rise out of the ground on top of hundreds of trees that mingled in with the senjutsu forest. Hashirama then prepared more wood jutsu, as Orochimaru rang out in fury. "How dare you, you old man! How can you defeat me like this?" Orochimaru was currently being immolated by a dragon flame jutsu from the professor. "I will not be defeated here." Summoning, Pure World Resuscitation. More coffins rose from the roof, alarming Tayson immensely, as more zombie-like beings rose from the coffins. A Hyuga who looked exactly like Hiyashi, a blue-haired Jonin, and two Uchiha. One with brown hair and a face like Itachi's, and another with long blue hair the same tone of Ducky's. Hazashi-san. Dan-kun. Fubuku-san. Makoto-chan. Not you too. Hiruzen said in alarm. Tayson shivered. Crap. He then saw something that made him more alarmed. What the hell? Uchiha, in Susanoo, was fighting against three-tailed beasts. The Ichi, Ni and Hachi. And he was winning. The zombified Uchihas then flew at him, as a dozen Hashirama wood clones flew at him as well. Wood release. Impaling Acadia. Wood release. Great Forest Technique. Water release. Water Dragon Bullet. Fire release. Great Fireball Technique. Fire release. Phoenix Sage Fire Technique. Sealing Style. Eternal Ramen Cup. Tayson was encased in the powerful ramen-based defense, as all the attacks struck him at once. The cup held, though dense and burns covered in extensively. This is going to be a hell of a fight. Meanwhile, with Shikamaru, Tayuya and Fu safely in the warded Namikaze as well as the injured Samui, Kuretsuchi, Hinata and Tenten, with Haku staying behind to help heal their injuries and chakra exhaustion, and to keep them from stealing anything, just in case. He then ran into Jiraiya, who had just body flickered in, with dozens of bipedal toads with scrolls on their backs. "Hey Gaki, we have some major problems, mainly that," he pointed to the giant form of Susanoo, which was currently fighting off three-tailed beasts, surprisingly easily. "You need to try and destroy that thing, or at least snap the Uchiha out of whatever is going on. I'd do it, but me and the toad sealing squad," he motioned to the toads behind him, "need to seal those flames before we're all deep fried." "Think you can do it?" Naruto nodded. "Datbyo. Believe it." Naruto did a few hand signs. Summoning jutsu. Gamabunta appeared in a huge plume of smoke, with Naruto on his head. "Hey, why have you summoned me, minion?" The toad then noticed the fight. And promptly sweat dropped. "Kid, if I'm here to fight the giant purple thing, forget it. There is no way in hell I am fighting that thing. I am not invincible, you know." "Hey Gamabunta Saama, why don't you do your henchmen a favor and fight off the Uchiha?" "Wait, that's a Uchiha, I'm in. See kid, I met a Uchiha Madara a long time ago. And he ate my pal's leg as an appetizer. Call this payback." Gamabunta and Naruto jumped into the fray. OC moves Ice Release. Ice Box Technique Kekkei Genkei B. Description: using ice barriers, a foe is trapped in an enclosed space. Lightning Release. Conductive Ramen Shockwave Rank B. Description: shadow striking ramen is used as a conductor for a lightning attack. Wood Release. Senjutsu Forest Kekkei Genkei S. Description: special trees are forced forward that continuously pump out senjutsu chakra for the user to absorb wood release. Impaling Acadia Kekkei Genkei C. Description: one's arm is morphed into a powerful spear of wood scorch release. Beast Wave Palm Kekkei Genkei A. Description: superheated version of Beast Wave Palm wood release. Sequoia Boxing Fists Kekkei Genkei B. Description: one's fists are morphed into giant wooden boxing gloves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, as well as checking out the author on fanfiction.net.